Hello, if you're watching this, you are interested in essential oils, and I'm going to take you through our top 10 essential oils and tell you a little bit about what they are, how we use them, and how they can actually provide support to you and your family. So, I thought, I'm going to brush my hair, I'm going to look nice. I'm like, no, this is me. This is my daughter. I have another daughter. She's watching Bluey in the other room. And I have a dog roaming around that you'll probably hear crunching biscuits that we've dropped on the floor. That's life. And I love it. Okay, so I wanted to go through this pamphlet. If you're interested in seeing this pamphlet, I will send it to you. Just email me on theoilraven@gmail.com. My name is Beth. My business is with essential oils. I also sell crystals, salt lamps, singing bowls, and some of the cool new agey stuff, which I actually used to sell years ago, and I've been in the corporate world, I've done teaching and everything, and I've come back full circle into this world that I absolutely love. I love essential oils. I love doTERRA essential oils because they are such a high quality. No other company can come close now, which I love because that means I have that faith in them, that they are nice and safe to use with the family, with having young kids around our dog. And for me, this means that I can be empowered in my own home. And really, that is what I want you to be. I want you to feel like you are equipped with the answers and able to turn to your oils when you are in need of a solution. From mood management to better sleep to those little bumps and things that happen over the day, and also to boost your own immune support, help yourself be the best version of yourself, looking at your life from more of a health and wellness perspective and making sure that you are in control of that. And that's the message that I really want to pass on. So this is my daughter Emily. I will pause the video if she starts cracking it because your time is valuable. And I'm going to really try and keep this into a bite-sized chunk of information. I could go on for 8 hours easily on all of these oils and about what essential oils do and how they work. I absolutely love it. But I am conscious of your time, so let me get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to sort of refer to this a little bit, but not too much. I'll just try and go on my own bandwagon here. So we have top 10 essential oils, and the reason these are the top 10 is because they are available in one of our most popular kits. The reason that is the most popular kit is because it has the top 10. So the top 10 essential oils are able to help you from an emotional perspective, provide you with the better sleep, with respiratory support, help with digestion, able to give you a protection against environmental threats, seasonal threats, and also help with cleaning and starting to change your life to more of a low tox place. My other daughter, Anna. Yes, Anna, quickly speak while I'm on a video. Okay, so when we look at the healthcare system that we do have, we love, we do need doctors and we need to turn to the healthcare system that we do have with hospitals and whatnot for perhaps having babies, obviously accidents and all those major things. We need these people around for sure. And using oils in your house doesn't mean you're saying no to any of that. Using oils in your house just means that you have other options and are widening your perspective on how to manage your own health and wellness. So $6.5 trillion is spent on healthcare globally, and we really aren't getting any healthier. In fact, we're having a decrease in our lifespan, which is pretty freaking scary. So their generation is going to be the first generation to actually have a decrease in their age, their average age of death, which is horrific. And I think that means we need to start taking a look at what we're doing, why we're doing it, and we can't just sit back and say, but we've always done it this way. That is one of the most detrimental, I believe that's one of the most detrimental sentences and statements we could make. And if we continue to do things the way we are doing them, we're not getting any better. Not as humans, not within ourselves, not as a generation, and not healing any problems that we've had in past generations for future generations to benefit. So this is why it sits really close to my home, because my heart, because I have always loved the environment and found myself being quite a hypocrite. So I made sure that my lifestyle was reflecting that. I had a big wake up call, and I decided to start changing things in our home, and for myself, my personal decisions. And for me, that started with diet, and now is rippling out. I know there's a lot of people out there that are really passionate about saving water and recycling and lowering their own carbon footprint, and I think that's really honourable. And if you're one of those people, I thank you, and I know this generation thanks you as well. So what we're finding ourselves doing is we feel like we are unwell or whatever, and we're going to the doctor to find something, a solution that all it's doing is cutting off the brain receptors to what's actually going on. So our symptoms are being addressed, not actually the root cause. So what's actually happening is we're not repairing the root cause. We're not repairing what's actually going in within the cell, within the body, or addressing it. We're just cutting off the signal that something's wrong from our brain to whatever is going on. And therefore, we're not improving what's actually happening. We're not making any changes. We're not making any repairs. We're not making any steps forward to getting ourselves healthier. When I talk about essential oils, we are talking about a high quality when we are talking about doTERRA. So these guys now are the best in the world. They are the highest quality essential oil company in the world. Yes, they are a big global company, but the reason they're global is because they source indigenously from where that plant is grown indigenously throughout the world. So they're not going to just gut land and start planting lavender to harvest it, to distill it themselves. What they're doing is going to wherever it is actually grown, and they are going to that farmer and saying, we need, the resin from the tree for the frankincense tree, working with that farmer and paying them a decent wage that is going to actually start improving that community. Whilst they're there, they're looking at the community and thinking and doing stuff that's actually improving the community. So they're getting people out of sex trafficking. They are improving the lives of families in the community, sending girls to school, giving girls empowerment, changing the lives. And this is not just some CSR corporate BS. I've worked in PR and I've definitely seen that side of the house as well. Sometimes we come to a point where we're like, this is a little bit too good to be true, because they are doing such good work, but they've done it slowly, consistently, and they've actually been making those changes. So I am so, so proud that I've actually found or been working with an essential oil company that's actually doing all of this, because I wasn't quite aware when I fell into this. And I'm glad I am, because that means that the quality for you is the best that it can be. So what is an actual essential oil? Oh, gosh. Sorry, this is like getting interrupted with kids. So what is an essential oil? So it's actually an aromatic compound, which when you go and touch like a mint leaf or a leaf of a herb, what's happening is playing with a cardboard box. What's happening is you are popping all the little sacs on the bottom of like a peppermint leaf or something. You're popping all those little sacs and they're going onto your fingers, and that's what you're able to smell. So that's like an aromatic scent. That's aromatic coming from the plant. So when you have an essential oil in a bottle, like take something like lemon, this is actually the rind of a lemon, and it's cold compressed. Some are steam distilled, and the way they do that is in like a big drum, and they're going to work through whatever the process is, steam distillation or the cold compression, to actually get the oil seeped out of the plant. So it ends up being compounds for us that work in, because of their chemical structure, the different plants are going to work in a different way in our bodies, and our bodies are going to respond to them differently. So that's when you have something that might help you open up your airways or might help with a sore tummy. It's because of the way that their structure, their chemical structure within that molecule comes in and enters into our cell, and the way it talks to our cell. And it really, essential oils are helping speed up our version of homeostasis. So we always want to be in balance. In homeostasis, we're actually trying to be in balance. Our bodies are always trying to heal. And when we have essential oils enter into our bodies, that's what they are doing. They're helping speed up that healing process that our body would naturally be doing anyway. Everything that I'm talking about is only talking about doTERRA. I'm very big on safety and dilution as well. So although I make that statement, that is a blanket general statement. We don't want to be using something that's very high in the chemicals that are going to help stimulate your blood flow and that kind of thing if you're on some kind of medication. So there's all these different little things to be aware of. But generally, for a healthy population, they provide a really good answer that is pure and the quality is there, that they are giving our bodies something really beneficial. And for me personally, I found that from emotional management and from mood management, they have provided a huge, huge outlet for me to be a better version of myself. And I've got a few videos on that, on my experiences, particularly with anger and that sort of thing, and how I've sort of come out the other side. And I continue that personal development journey. And oils have really been a key part in that for me. And I love the idea of working with the oils as part of your holistic health toolkit. So you have them as a major part of how you're making different changes in your life. And the rest might be diet, exercise, and we really have to look at that as well. So I wanted to show you a little chart here. So if you can see this is going to be talking about eating right, exercising, resting, and reducing stress. So those are those 3 key points. We really need to look at those when we're trying to improve our lives. If you have a really poor diet or aren't sleeping well and aren't exercising, not moving your body and getting things going, then you're probably not going to have the best kind of effect or result that you want with the oils or anything else holistic. Holistic health is being consistent and making changes that are benefiting your body overall. And what we want when we talk about the molecule of the oil's entry into the cell, if that's clogged with a lot of things like fatty foods, if you're eating really poorly, smoking a lot, possibly taking drugs, or you just have that kind of heavy dependence on unhealthy habits, then you'll probably find that the oils aren't going to be absorbed into your body well enough because your body's already working overtime trying to clear those cells of those issues that you've already burdened it with. So although that might be a big, a hard pill to swallow, it's really important to look at all aspects of our life when we look at holistic health or when we look at just trying to improve our overall well-being. And the reason we want to do it is because we do want to get away from our dependence on pharmaceuticals and our dependence on going to somebody else for the answer when we really have all of that. We are empowered within our own right, and we need to know that we have that power within us. The rest of what I wanted to talk about was reducing your toxic load. So when we even look at things like, moisturizers, or it might be a certain cream we're using for a certain ache or a certain scratch or bite or something that's on us, including things like toilet sprays and anti-germ sprays or hand sanitizers, Ajax spray, and what kind of when we use all of these products every single day, our toxic load is increasing and increasing and increasing. And when we think about the things that we don't have a lot of control over, like it might be water from the tap or foods that you're, even to our fruit and vegetables, we just don't have the same nutrient density in that soil anymore. Which means even when we're eating well, we might be compromised in the way that we're not getting 100% of the nutrients we once did, back when our parents were younger. So we're in a world that's got a few problems going on, and really we want to be aware of those problems so we can start making the changes within our households where we can control what comes in and out of the door, so we can better our health and reduce our toxic load. And my big driver for that is that I didn't want to start having these things around Anna, my firstborn, and I wanted to start making decisions that were going to benefit her in the long run, rather than having a child that has a huge toxic load because we are in a world with a lot of toxins around. Another thing I have cut out completely has been harmful deodorants and perfumes. I still use a deodorant. It is a good natural one, and they are available. doTERRA has a collection as well, and instead of perfume, I will actually use the oils as my own pure fume, we like to call it. So there are so many options out there now. You don't have to just go to the supermarket or go into, perfume sections in a shop and just buy what you think or do what you've always done. And I think when you change your mindset and are aware, wow, this is actually full of a lot of harsh chemicals, and they might be endocrine disruptors, they might be really affecting things that are going on hormonally, and hormonal not just being, related to the sex side of our functioning, but everything from our mental health to our day-to-day, being able to get up and do stuff. So when we are aware, putting keys in a bowl, I'm sorry. The noisiest activity while I'm trying to do this. When we are aware of what we need to do to move forward from that, the power is yours. That is why I'm sharing this message. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. When we look at something like peppermint, this is around the laws of essential oils, for example. 3% of what is in an essential oil bottle can be the actual essential oil, and the rest can be topped up with anything. Coconut oil all the way through to petrochemicals. So although you might be using an essential oil brand, and it might be an Australian made company and all this kind of thing, but if you don't have access to the reports of what they actually did on that batch, how do you know what's in that bottle? And I am a big advocate for Australian made, but I think there comes a point where you need to start making decisions that you know are going to be beneficial to you and your body, not just going for something that's local, as though local is amazing, and do it everywhere else you can. But be aware of what you are putting into your body. These guys are tested grade. They have 54 different types of tests. They do about 17 rounds of testing on each batch, depending on the type of oil, what kind of test it might need. They're third-party testing as well, inside and outside the company. And what is in that bottle, when it says peppermint, it is peppermint. I'm going to have a whiff of it now. I need that. Ooh, so good. So quickly, a little bit more on the cells. So when the molecules of an essential oil enter your body, they're going into your cells. They're small. Their molecular weight is so small that it enters into you, bypasses a cell wall. It enters into the cell wall. It can actually be in the cell doing the work. This is why we have such fast improvements to different things when we're looking at something. For example, we will use peppermint and wild orange as a wake-up blend, breathing that in. And it's going in through our limbic system, up through our nose. Because the molecules are so small, what's happening is when it enters into that limbic system, it's talking to the olfactory bulb, and that is then a signal to start changing behavior. So this is why I love it for emotionally, and I'll just quickly try and condense this into a sentence. When you are able to, say you're going through a certain pattern of behavior, mood-wise or emotional-wise, what happens is you actually scratch the DVD, is the way to say it. So the DVD works normally, it goes down that same pathway, it's playing the movie. Say that might for you be going into a hole, feeling really stressed out. Even if it's a trigger that's not particularly stressful to other people, you might find that really, really stressful, and you're going to go down that same road that you do when you get into high stress. So for people, that might be something, I'm out of control and having other situations, but for other people it might be not as bad. What you want to do is, when you use an essential oil, is interrupt that DVD, interrupt that movie playing, and it's like putting a scratch on a DVD. So what happens is you go down that same pathway. I'm being stressed out, now I'm going down to ABC road. You use the essential oil aromatically or topically, and what happens is you interrupt that brain signal from continuing down the same path. So how do we use essential oils? Aromatically, like I've just mentioned, so that's actually like literally taking the having a smell, those molecules are going up into my brain, making me really awake. It's peppermint. But you might want something that's super relaxing. You might want to use a lavender and have that kind of relaxation, more sedative response. Topically, which is when we have rollers and things like that, where we put a few drops of the oil in and we top it up with something like a coconut oil. That's for safe dilution, and it's using it actually on the skin topically. So when we have the coconut oil, that's helping us actually absorb the oil better and faster. It's also allowing us to spread. So we use coconut oil, but you can use anything like jojoba oil, almond oil, avocado oil, olive oil even, or even a plain moisturizer free from toxins, something like that. So what's happening is you're able to carry the oil further across your body, and a really beautiful way to do that is doing a aromatic dressing. So it's getting a little dish, and what you do is pick whatever oils you like for the day. Be aware of citrus oils because they're going to help the sun burn you because they are photosensitive. So what you want to do is get your carrier oil. Shush please, I know that's a bit noisy, go the other way. Get your carrier oil, put in the drops of whatever you're wearing for the day, perhaps frankincense and lavender or something beautiful like that, maybe before bed. 2 drops each or 1 drop each. Put that all through and just start rubbing it up your body. So you want to start from your feet and, rub it all the way up through your legs, even covering your boobs and your bum and your tummy and all this kind of thing. Up to your neck and even on your face if you like. So what you're doing there is really that touch on your own body is being so meaningful and really loving to yourself, which has a ripple effect out to everybody else. It's a beautiful moment of self-care, and it's a great way to get the oils into every cell of your body really quickly. So that means you are absolutely like on fire with these oils, just not literally, just actually vibing out with these great quality essential oils into your body. What a great way to start the day, right? And it's a really quick way to do it. And if you're doing affirmations while you're doing that, like I love you feet, I love you legs, I love you cellulite, I love you baby tummy, all these kinds of things, your kids are hearing that. Not only are you paying respects to your amazing body, your kids are able to hear that as well and see how much you love yourself, and they will love themselves. And that is such a gift. Okay, back to what I was saying. All right, the other way to use them is through a food additive. Been talking too much. So if you have something like peppermint, I'll just use this as an example, or lemon, you might want to put that through desserts, or oregano. 1 drop through the entire spaghetti bolognese is going to go a long, long way. There are heaps of different ways to use them. Now, I want to touch on each oil very briefly because I'm aware I'm at 20 minutes and I'm going to really try and condense this down. I have more videos on the top 10 expanded, and I also have graphics that are created with my tips on how to use every single oil. And when you're welcomed into the team, you get a huge amount of support from me and from anything that I've prepared from a copy perspective, but also from the team and their experiences and our questions and answers, and not just our team, from wider teams as well. So you enter into this entire family of oil crazy people. Yeah, we're all oil crazy people. No, there's heaps of different people, not just oil crazies, lots of normal people as well. Okay, so lemon. This is what we call sunshine in the bottle. This is a new one too. I'm going to crack it open for you. Ooh, cracked. And it really is just so refreshing. It is so refreshing. It's detoxifying. It's great for cleaning. It's great for removing sticky things off of things. If you feel like you're getting a bit sore in this area, you can put a drop into a tea, or put a drop in some hot water with some honey. 1 drop is going to go a long way, and do that a couple of times over the day, and you're going to feel really relieved through here. Okay, peppermint. We've spoken about this briefly. Great in desserts. It's really good for keeping away mice, keeping away spiders. Mop with it if you don't like spiders. Use it in the bathroom if you have huntsmen jump out of you, like we've had for one lady. And the peppermint, woohoo, did the job. It's a really great wake-up one if you suffer from any kind of fatigue symptoms. It's a really good one to start the day. It's one for allowing you to open up that heart chakra and allow that love in, that buoyant heart. Okay. Frankincense. This one is the king of oils. So this one is, we call him the king because he can do absolutely everything. The sentence from one of our oil community doctors is, when in doubt, use frankincense. But we changed it. My partner saw that and was like, no. So when in doubt, get frank out. That is the saying that we have. So if you have anything you're like, I don't know, what oil do I use it for? Start with frankincense. He's going to clear it up. He's great for mood support. So on the bottoms of the feet, he's great for connecting to the divine. If you love a bit of meditation or yoga, he's good for skin, scarring, helping the skin to repair itself. You're going to speed up the repair of the cells. For anyone that has that connection to church as a kid, that's going to be a bit of a reminder there. I don't, so I don't know what you're talking about. Anything from respiratory support and digestion as well. He's an all-rounder. That is your go-to. He's also worth $120 retail because he is hard to source. That comes from the resin of a tree in Somalia. There's only 4 species of tree that they actually get that oil from. Okay, Easy Air. This is a blend. This one has cardamom. It's got peppermint. We have eucalyptus in there as well. So when you actually smell Easy Air, you're going to smell it all the way down here. So it's really going to open up that heart chakra. It's really going to open up that respiratory system. I'm too woo-woo now. That respiratory system and really allow the breath to come in. Not only from that perspective, but it's a really good one for those kind of anxious feelings as well, because you allow yourself to expand and you bring yourself a little bit back to center with the way of just having that breath and giving yourself space to feel those feelings and release them. So I love it for that. Ice Blue, this is what we call the husband converter. So Ice Blue is a really good, it's called an athletic blend. It's really, really soothing for muscles and joints. So if you are quite a active person, or if you have an active job, or if you come home sore from your job, Ice Blue is the one you're going to be using for that relief. It's actually particularly helpful using before a busy day of activity because it's going to help your muscles ease into what they need to do without getting too tense and having that what's that acid stuff called? You can tell I'm not an exerciser. It's really good for layering with something like Frank when you've got like a persistent sore spot. And it also comes in something like a rub, which is already a pre-diluted version that you're going to be putting on that sore spot. It's really good for hangovers. It's good for having head tension because you can put it all through the back of your neck. That's where I always get them. And it's really going to have a really cool and hot sort of feeling like you might have from other rubs that you're familiar with. But it's not got all of that toxin ingredients, so it's going to work faster and going to be better long-term result for you because your body's not fighting with the other toxins at the same time. It's just giving you a result. Tea tree. Now, for the emotional health, tea tree is the one oil that no matter what is going on, anxious feelings, if you're having stress, if you're having a downtime, smelling tea tree is going to scratch that DVD very quickly. I always underrated tea tree for that reason because I didn't have much of an understanding of its emotional perspective, but now I fully respect it. It's not just a cleaning oil. There is a little bit of a just be careful with diffusing tea tree around dogs and don't use it on dogs. We've got other oils that are safe to use diluted, a very diluted version on dogs, and I have more information on that as well. On Guard, this one is our immune support booster. So it's called a protective blend. It's got clove and cinnamon. Anyone that's aware of essential oils, you're going to know what happens with clove and cinnamon. It's really going to kill those germs. We use this one in our hand sanitizer that we can make up ourselves and carry it with us anywhere. So we're not using those gels that are promoting the superbug. We're using something that's actually going to cut through all of that crap. It's got a little bit of rosemary in there as well, and it's a really good one to apply on the kids every single day. I have a diluted roller that I apply frankincense and On Guard on the kids every single day before they go to sleep. And the reason I do that is because your cells are rejuvenating and repairing overnight. So it's a really good time to do that. So if there is anything funky sitting around in the cells overnight, it's really going to help boost up that repairing process for them. Oregano. So this is not just a cooking oil. Oregano is our immune bomb kick butter. Okay, so if you have one drop in your hand with a little pool of coconut oil on the bottoms of the feet when you're feeling poorly, do that for 3 days and you're going to be feeling back to yourself. So you also can't use it for more than 5 days in a row because it is such a good germ killer that it starts to erupt or disrupt rather the good bacteria that we have going on. So use it sparingly, almost treat it like an antibiotic. This is the one and only oregano I've ever had. I've had oils for almost 2 years. So I really actually love the smell of it now. Some people take the lid off and go, ooh, that's too much for me. And like I said, one drop or a toothpick, where you just apply the toothpick in the lid there, and you can swirl that around a spaghetti bolognese or an Italian dish. It is really, really good. Lavender. Now, a lot of people will see lavender and go, oh, if they don't like it, or they go, I love lavender, or it reminds me of grandma, it reminds me of mum. All these kinds of comments always come at me for lavender. Lavender is not what you expect when you smell this one. It smells like lavender, but it's not that perfumey crap that you know you're getting in those pot puree mixes or some, handmade soaps from the 90s. If you're imagining the stuff that I'm imagining, you would be like, ew, lavender. But this one just does not smell like that. You can smell its actual botanical side. That's what I need. That's the word, the botanical. I absolutely love it. It's a really good one, of course, for sleep and relaxation, but also it's the oil of communication and calm. So if you've got something that you want to talk about emotionally with somebody, it's a really good one to start thinking, I'm going to apply a bit of lavender. It's going to help me get those words out properly, and also in a calming way as well. Lavender is also really good for all things skin. So if you have anything that's coming up like a scratch or a bite or an itch or something, you're going to be using lavender straight away. It's really gentle as well, so it's a really great one to use, super diluted, on babies and kids as a first go-to for anything skin related, but also for pets as well. So lavender is a nice soft one. Digestin. Okay, this one is a blend. We've got some caraway, we've got some peppermint, fennel. So we've got the kind of blends in here, the oils in here that are going to help with digestion. It is a really good one for if you're feeling seasick, if you eat a big meal, if you're feeling like in the tummy. Digestin is the one to go for. It's good to use really on a routine basis if you suffer from something that's consistent. But of course, I would always recommend going back to diet as well and seeing what actually is going on. These essential oils are providing a huge support and relief for you in your life and in your home. But you also need to look at everything else. So if you are constantly having trouble sleeping and needing an oil to sleep, you need to look at why you're having trouble sleeping and perhaps use an oil for the emotional point of getting to the bottom of what is actually going on and why you're not sleeping. And that's what I love to explore. So if you have anything that you need help with in your life, and let's look at prevention rather than cure. We want to be keeping our wellness as best as we possibly can. We want to look after it. We only get one body, and I think that sentence is not made often enough. It's not said often enough. We only get one version of us. We can't replace ourselves with a new body. And although even if you believe in reincarnation and everything, we also have a world that we need to leave for the future generations and even for us if we return. So a little bit of woo-woo for you. But I absolutely love these. They have changed my life. And I love the fact that I can share them because I can change your life. And you are then the empowered person that can go and find a better and bigger reason to be on this earth. So thank you for watching if you have gotten this far. I really hope that you have learned something. I've got all of the information on my website on different kits that you can purchase, how to start. You can even start simple. I've got some beautiful kits on how to start simple or a little collection of how to do that. And a few different kits tailored at different emotions because we love it. And the kits, classic kits from doTERRA, they are the best way to save. But if you have a different budget, then we can work with you. That's what we're here for. It's all about support. It's all about just getting the oils into your home and getting your hands on them, getting them into your life, knowing how to use them, and just starting from there. Because if you do it well, if you're committed to change, you have the world as your absolute oyster. So thank you so much for listening. I wish you a happy and healthy day and enjoy the sunshine or the rain, no matter what it is. Thank you. Bye.